Pueblo City. So it's Friday, October 6th. I'm going to do some headlines the last week or two. Giovanni Ian Vigil, 23-year-old. The only crime with the biggest danger with marijuana was the element of violence attached to it because it was illegal in society. So are these really criminal, dangerous fucking people, or are we wasting? I think we're wasting resources. So one with, this is KOAA, and then there's one with Channel 11. But here, this story is 3 days ago, 28-year-old Danielle Calvert was found dead inside a home on the 1300 block of Van Buren Street, Pueblo, Tuesday afternoon. So 3 days ago, the officers responded to the home 1:55 p.m. Tuesday afternoon for a call on the dead body. They canvassed the neighborhood on Tuesday to see if anybody saw anything, but they haven't really found much of anything at all. No, at least they haven't reported it. At least KOAA hasn't reported anything. And this is written by nobody, so I guess the entire news agency, we're just supposed to assume, wrote this. And then there's also no point person. So Troy Davenport said we're getting less money, but we have an opportunity since the schools are absolutely failing. We can change things. We can change things. For $7,000, we can get a Sudbury model education. When I have kids, and I would like to have lots of kids, when I have children, I want them to have a Sudbury model schools in the public school system. I want the public school system to reform themselves and to get democracy inside the damn schools. It's all based on democracy anyways, right? School board is voted on, and then they fucking vote on a goddamn superintendent, and then they all hire, right? So that's the damn structure. It's all, democracy anyways. Quest was denied. Staff repeatedly asked for permission to intervene. What does this mean? Please, can we intervene? The Quest is denied, so they're like, don't intervene. Let him eat his own arm. No, let him eat his own arm. Privately run non-profit ranch licensed in 95 is authorized to care for up to 166 children ages 5 to 21. All these staff members, we need to know who they are, who their names are, and whether or not they were the ones doing it. We need to find out exactly who the fuck was abusing these people. We can't make sure all them staff members don't get in our school systems, don't get into our, onto our playgrounds, parks, make sure they're not in the daycares. So we need to, flag them. We need to know who the fuck these staff members are, and I want to know who the fuck these actual individuals are. They punched a kid in the mouth, a child was punched in the mouth, who's elbowing, kneeing kids. So they're attacking them, they're hitting them, they're leaving burns on them, and then even when, they terrorize the fuck out of them, they're eating. But a good superintendent produces thousands of good superintendents. They try to get everybody to be leaders, everybody to stand up, and that's if they want to be. But my point is, instead of making thousands of superintendents, they're making thousands of obedient little fucking ignoramuses. And when you're fucking ignorant as fuck, then you're just going to be a savage piece of shit, just a bully. That's the only way you're going to get around is if you, this is insane. This is ridiculous. 23-year-old Giovanni he should be bailed out. Kathleen Diane Wheeler, 43 years old, she's in there for a $6,000 bail. You know what she's arrested for? Suspicion of unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Okay, so we're throwing 43-year-old Kathleen Diane Wheeler in the fucking 2400 block of Columbine Avenue. Whoever she is, her life is fucked, right? Giovanni's life is fucked. Kathleen's life is fucked. But at least the Pueblo chieftain got, they got a little headline, right? They got to get some, oh yeah, we get it right, and this is important. Look at, we got information, and the police, now the criminal justice system, the judges, the prosecutors, they all got something to do. So much fucking money over this fucking. They are treating it as a homicide, so that's the, I guess, main thing there. But RIP 28-year-old Danielle Calvert. To the earth, if you say the person's name, to the earth, they're still alive. So Danielle Calvert, 28 years old. It's up for the living to carry her get justice, and then make sure you get her legacy. Who was she? What was her essence? What was the stuff she was made up of? What did she want to do on this earth? And so R.I.P. Danielle Calvert. With this article, I just wish there was somebody's name that was mentioned on it. Why not have some point person? This is the person that was at the scene. If Troy was there, get a quote from Troy Davenport, get a quote from somebody, but it just is like, it's like this news story just appeared out of nowhere. It just appears out of the earth, right, by the amorphous media. Article comes, compliments, KKTV. It says, not arrested, $3.9 million worth of marijuana found in Pueblo County grow operation. So the war on drugs is going strong. There's 8 of 9 folks who were arrested. This is supposed to be the Napa Valley of marijuana, so, here's what I do. If I'm the sheriff of Pueblo County and I come across 800 marijuana plants and 500 pounds of recently harvested marijuana, I take a percentage, I sell it to the county dispensary, and then that money is sold to, the people, and the profits go into the general fund. So you tax them, and then you say, here's the paperwork, here's how you need to actually get it legalized and certified. But this is a entrepreneur, this is a brand new business. And so startup companies are going to they're going to run up against, the 7 licenses. Still saying the street value of the grow. What's the street value? There's no street value anymore. There's a, actual stock market price. You could go in, you could just go into the businesses. So the combined street value of the grows is about $3.9 million. It is a private 40-acre property. There were members of the SWAT team and ICE were in there. So they said they have connections to Mexico. So that's interesting, one of which who was a previous deported felon. So this is okay. But it seems kind of crazy to me that you're going to have all these grows out into, in the county, and nobody's going to notice them, like 800 fucking plants. How, I feel like, don't like satellite have pictures of everything? How's people have, 40 fucking acres, 800 plants? This is all secret all summer, and now we just found out about it. But if they're from, a deported felon, so they're a felon and they're shipped out, but what was the felony over? Drugs. And so they're saying that he's got additional federal charges. There are 3 people who escaped from the authorities, too. So they said in search of the property, they found guns, makeshift shelters, drying tables, drying lines, packaging materials, elaborate irrigation systems similar to those found in previous illegal outdoor grow operations that had cartel ties. There was a complex watering system that included a well operated by a large gas generator, a holding pond, and a 300-gallon water storage tank. So, he says he took hundreds of pounds of illegal marijuana out of circulation. That didn't help nothing, Kurt Taylor. Sell that to China or something. Fuck, we could have made some money out of that damn thing. Now, since they are illegal, residents, they could be cartel, they could be gang members, so I'm not against. 8 people arrested was 21-year-old Juan Sanchez Rodriguez, 64-year-old Jose Beltran Valdez, 45-year-old Lorenzo Rodriguez Paredes, 39-year-old Luis Ramirez Ruda, 24-year-old Luis Moreno Garibay, 26-year-old Raymond Hernandez Cruz, 49-year-old Thomas Sanchez Vasquez, and 42-year-old Eugenio Ramirez Areola. So those are the 8 people who were arrested on Monday by the county, by the sheriff's office, and the sheriff now has the first female attorney who's going to defend them. The new county attorney, Cynthia Mitchell, she has switched seats at the horseshoe-shaped table in front of the Pueblo County Commissioner's Chamber Wednesday, just before the final item on the agenda came up. So Cynthia Mitchell, 42-year-old Cynthia Mitchell, is the first woman to be appointed Pueblo County attorney during the commissioner. Just like Troy Davenport, just out of nowhere, we're just thrust upon. They just hire this person. So Cynthia Mitchell now is one of the most powerful people in Pueblo County / Pueblo City, in this, jurisdiction, in this geographical area. She is going to defend all the county employees in the county, the commissioners and all the employees. I don't know how many, 1,000, 5,000 employees. How many people does the county employ? How many ever they employ? They got a fucking $1 million budget or some shit, $181 million budget, so there's a lot of money there. So Pueblo County attorney will be defending all those people and all that money, and hopefully, she'll go after misconduct if there is some shenanigans, if there is some bullshit. She's born and raised in Pueblo. She graduated from South High School in '93, so she's got local roots here. I like that. But then the county attorney was George Rosenberg, who was appointed interim county attorney in August, but George Rosenberg has now been replaced, and he had stepped in for Greg Studahar. So Greg Studahar left his position as county attorney on August 7th to serve as a magistrate in the 10th Judicial District. So does that mean that a magistrate in the 10th Judicial District is more powerful than the county attorney? So Greg Studahar didn't seem like he made much of the county attorney position if he thinks the magistrate of the 10th Judicial District is more powerful than the county attorney. There's only one county attorney. There's 3 magistrates, and then the magistrates are like, out of all the judges, there's 7 judges in the 10th Judicial, 7 to 10, and magistrates would be below all the judges. So Greg Studahar evidently thinks that being a magistrate is higher than being a county attorney. Mr. Studahar was a wonderful attorney and a great mentor. She learned from the best, so expect no differences, no changes. She's going to run it just like Greg Studahar ran it. So maybe that's why she was like the obvious choice. But this just sounds to me like the establishment still being the establishment. These are enormous shoes for me to fill. Mr. Studahar was a wonderful attorney, great mentor. I think I learned from the best. These are the questions that I ask any of the people that are running for office, but we didn't ask the police chief and we didn't ask now the Pueblo County attorney. These are major positions, and we didn't ask them any questions. The questions are, will you always be honest with me? Will you always be transparent? Will you be making periodic reports and just letting everybody know what the hell is going on with your office, what you're working on, what the progress, what the challenges are, if there's any way that people can help? And so be forthright, be honest, tell us what's going on, and educate us. Let us know how the system works, right? Be out amongst the whether or not you're a good, honest, decent human being. So let's assume you are a good, honest, decent human being, and you're going to be transparent with periodic reports. The next thing is, what kind of policies do you believe in? Do you believe in the war on drugs? Does this lady Mitchell, does she believe in the war on drugs? Does Troy Davenport, does he believe on the war on drugs? You know, the sheriff's thing, the illegal marijuana grow, the grow wasn't the problem, it was the illegal residents who were the problem. So if that was, you know, some poor Puebloan people, are they going to get thrown in jail too? So I just want to understand a lot of what is she going to do. Does she care about the poor? Does she have a plan for the poor? Is she going to do anything about, you know, is she going to bring us internet? Is she going to bring us Wi-Fi? Is she going to, you know, help with the consolidation? I don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about her. She just out of nowhere. She's appointed. She's the first woman to be appointed. So Terry Hart was excused, absent from the meeting on Wednesday. Where's Terry Hart? How come Terry Hart isn't going to these county meetings? So she's married to Dean Mitchell. They have 2 boys, Owen and Quinn. So that's nice, right? She's a small family. She's a local here. She's going to, you know, I like that she's going to stick it out here for the rest, you know, of the time. I hope she does a good job, but, you know, we the people did not vet her. We did not vet Troy Davenport. You know, that should be, people want to talk about a popularly elected mayor, but we're not going to have a popularly elected county attorney. We're not going to have a popularly elected police chief. So Sal Pace said they decided the best choice came from within the county. So that means, yes, it's within our little circle, with our little, you know, county network. And then Garrison said that she always had the best interest in mind, so the county's best interest, at least the government, right, the county employees. The sheriff's office has alerted all the county that there's a scam going around. People are calling people's phones up and they're saying that you owe a fine for missing jury duty. You missed jury duty, so now you owe a fine. Don't listen to it. It's bullshit. So there's Pueblo has a chance to speak out on Black Hills rate hike. They said there's a local hearing next Thursday. So let's see, it's October 6th. That's today. So next Thursday would be, you know, the Thursday after the 6th, the 12th. So October 12th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the 4-H auditorium at the Colorado Fairgrounds. After reading about the Sand Creek Massacre, after reading about the Ludlow Massacre, the Columbine Mine Massacre in 1927, the first Columbine Massacre, I don't know. It makes me nervous. You're getting all these people all in one, you know, one fucking tent. That's just me being skeptical. Colorado Public Utilities Commission, they usually don't go out of Denver, but they've come to Pueblo several times because we fucking hate Black Hills and we hate how they fucking treat us around here. And fuck Black Hills, so I'm glad we're there. And they said that there's 3 PUC hearings, 3 commissioners, law judge. So I don't know. There's local hearings have been heavily attended by local customers opposed to Black Hills rates and disconnect policies. So right, everybody gets to go to the Black Hills meeting to bitch about Black Hills. I don't know if we're going to get any. So Harris Adams, a senior hearing judge for the Colorado Public Utilities Commission. Why can't the PUC just do the fuck as they're supposed to do? Who the fuck is this PUC coming in our lives telling us what the fuck we can and cannot do? Fuck the PUC. Let's get solar-based power, solar and wind and trash-based power and batteries for each one of our houses. Let's get a battery system. Fuck this grid. You see our Pueblo Police Department working on? Well, here, look, we got 19-year-old homeless man, Carlo Angelo Chavez. We went ahead and arrested him. And unfortunately, you know, it says that there is motor vehicle theft. He tried to steal a car. So before I was kind of like, what the fuck is up with this? Why are people stealing cars? Well, he's homeless. So maybe he's just looking for a warm place to sleep. But then here's the other part that sort of pissed me off. The stealing thing I don't like, but what the fuck? You're homeless, right? And nobody seems to give a shit. I don't know what Posada, if they give a shit or not. I just asked them, you know, how's the homeless situation, and they're kind of like, go look at our website, and the website was like, stay away from Pueblo City. If you come to Pueblo City and you don't have, you know, don't come to Pueblo. That's basically what I read on their website. So, the unlawful possession of both Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 controlled substances. I don't give a shit. So what? Booked into jail, no bail. Pueblo City gives a shit. We'll see Carlo Angelo Chavez through. He's 19 years old. He's 18. All these assholes are running for school board. He's just 1 year out of school, right? So this is Carlo Angelo Chavez is a product of American school system. And he's homeless, so that's fucking wonderful. You made him learn all that calculus, but now he don't even have a goddamn home. But you did make him obedient. You did yell at him. You did tell him to shut up and sit down, so you got to feel strong, right? Teachers and then administrators. At least the teachers are teaching. What the fuck does an administrator do? Just file your disciplinary reports? So fucking Carlo Angelo Chavez, I don't know anything about him, but that's, you know, bullshit that he's fucking stealing. But the Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 controlled substances, he's fucking homeless. He's homeless. Well, we should actually just give him, if you can't give him a home, you know, give him a fucking little snort of heroin or something. Give him a little bit of fucking meth, you know, give him a little bit of crack. He's fucking homeless. Something's got to take the pain away. This guy is on suspicion of menacing. I'm menacing. I don't know what the fuck happened here. So, again, we just hear Jess J. Duran was kidnapped. 46-year-old Jess J. Duran of the 1700 block of Quellen Avenue, arrested Monday on suspicion of menacing. So he's booked in jail in lieu of a $2,500 bail. So fuck, right? He's stuck in there. He's poor. He don't have $2,500. So Jess J. Duran is stuck there for suspicion of menacing. Come on, man. Every one of these, I mean, this is just too fucking much. Patrick J. Garcia, 32 of the 1900 block of Lambert Avenue, was arrested Tuesday on a warrant for first-degree assault, second-degree assault, serious injury. He's booked into jail, no bail set, pending the court appearance. So, okay, he's attacking people, right? Violence, that's wrong, right? You shouldn't just go around hitting people like a violent thug. Just other possible, let's see, attempted burglaries, felony, criminal mischief. So, David Anthony Laurel Jr., 24, unspecified block of North Elizabeth Street. William Turner McCreary, 37. Homeless. We got another homeless guy, and first-degree criminal trespass, possession of burglary tools. Okay, hold on. Are they just breaking into fucking private homes? William Turner McCreary, this is the second homeless person. We're wasting our fucking police resources. We have a limited amount of police resources, and we're using them to go after the fucking homeless? The police should hold the homeless by the hand and find them some abandoned houses that they can live. Look, you can stay in this house for now. And burglary tools. So what, a fucking bolt cutter? Is that the burglary tools? So criminal trespass, burglary tools. The homelessness is a bigger fucking crime, Pueblo City. Oh, he's booked into jail in lieu of a $15,000 total bail. But at least he's out of the cold, and now I'm wondering about this other attempted burglary, felony, criminal mischief. Now, if they're going to be that fucking vague, are all these just homeless people just trying to find a fucking warm place to sleep? Hey, homeless people. You know, if they're going to fucking throw you in jail over this shit, do it anyways. You don't have anything to lose. You break into a house, you got a house to sleep in, and if they nab you, then Pueblo City will go ahead and pay for that jail space. Or actually, I don't even know how Pueblo City's, they can't even send shoplifters into the jail. They're having to send shoplifters up to Douglas County. So I guess they have to pay the county. Is that what, so we're paying these homeless folks in the county jail. The county gets all that money, and Pueblo City has to pay for it. Is that what I'm hearing? I mean, if you're homeless, you have no incentive not to do this. You're cold, you need to get out of, if you're hungry, steal some bread. And if you're cold, then find a place, find some shelter. If the police nab you, they'll put you in a different shelter. So you'll find a warm place if you... There's somebody in there for $2 million, cash-only bail. Salazar, Jared Lee. Let's check out Hope Meza Santa Stephen. 24-year-old Hope Meza Santa Stephen of an unspecified block of East 2nd Street, arrested on suspicion of an unlawful possession of a controlled substance, being held at jail without bail pending the court appearance. Oh, another fucking controlled substance fucking bullshit thing. Fuck the war on drugs. Yeah, listen, Pueblo Police Department, you are not helping me. You're not making me feel safe by throwing Hope Meza into jail. We're having to pay for her, and she was what? Just medicating herself out on the fucking street? So I don't see what the goddamn problem with this is. She just was possessing a controlled substance, unspecified blocks, so she doesn't have an address. Is this another homeless people? Is this one big homeless roundup? Just went into a homeless camp and just arrested as many fucking homeless as you could? Joshua J. Romero, 20 years old, 1900, a brag. Makes sense with the second-degree assault, right? He's a violent thug, so fuck the violent thugs. Fuck these fascist, violent thugs. If you just go around being a fascist, violent thug to anybody and everybody, that's the person the police officer should be most suspicious of. Police officer runs up onto a scene, they see one big, tall, bully fucking looking asshole. That's the first person they should go confront. That's the first person they should say, so what's going on? Go straight up to that person and be skeptical. You should be most suspicious of the bully looking like motherfuckers. They could be gentle giants, right? But that's how it should be. You shouldn't look at a big fucking bully, fascist thug as yourself, because that's a criminal, right? You can't just go around attacking people for no fucking reason. That is an assault, and he's got no bail set and good. And then there's Jared Lee Davantel Salazar. Warrant Jared Lee Devante Salazar, 24 years old, is actually a big fucking find. Failure to appear a warrant for first-degree murder. How the fuck did he get out? We're going to throw a bunch of homeless people in for, a personal amount of ecstasy. But here, Jared Lee Devante Salazar, he's going to be in, 2012, and he's allowed to get out. He's allowed to get out. Failure to appear a warrant. First degree of murder. How the fuck? There should be a warrant that's put on the judge that allowed him to get out. How much money did that person, they said he's in lieu of a $2 million cash-only bail. So that was a $2 million bail guy. Jared Lee Devante Salazar, 24 years old, fairly young, but first-degree murder charge relating to 2012 case, first and second-degree assault. So good job, Pueblo Police. Jared Lee should be behind bars. Joshua J. Romero should be behind bars. But Hope Meza, John K. Story, 3600 block of Azalea Street, arrested Tuesday on a warrant, second-degree assault, causing injury, deadly weapon, booked into jail, lieu of $20,000 bail. That makes sense. In fact, that sounds small. And there's this guy, he pleads guilty to murder. He goes to jail for 12 years. Wasn't there another guy that basically went to jail for life? What is up with the discrepancy? Jason Munez's killer, he went to, Ricky Munez's killer, he went to jail for 14 years. 14 years. And so did somebody else with meth. So everybody, it's like wild fuck. Who knows what the fuck the judge is going to say, right? You can kill somebody, get 12, 14, or get life. Or, they might push for the death penalty, depending on where you're at. But Jose Manzanares, 39-year-old Jose Manzanares, pleaded guilty to reckless manslaughter, a Class 4 felony. So, the 2015 slaying of a man in Pueblo. So this motherfucker killed somebody in 2015, but only gets 12 years. Reckless manslaughter. Yeah, give him a plea bargain. Drop it down from first-degree murder, which it sounds like it was. But where's the guy's name that he killed? Oh, Richard Martinez. So he killed Richard Martinez, 32-year-old Richard Martinez. He was from Denver, arrested November 2015 in Denver to the shooting that killed Richard Martinez. Was that around here? Apparently it had to be, right? They worked in conjunction, Denver and the police. Pueblo police worked in conjunction with each other. Martinez's body was found November 16th in the backyard of a home on the 1100 block of East Route Avenue. Well, shit. He might have been the one that Danielle Calvert? I mean, that sounds very similar, right? People are just being shot and their bodies are found inside the home or in the yard. This was shot the night before. So Martinez, you know, R.I.P., Mr. Richard Martinez. I don't think he deserved to fucking die. What the fuck did 32-year-old Richard Martinez do? But he was killed the night before and they didn't find his body till the day after. And then the guy gets 12 fucking years after a big, long investigation, after a big, long manhunt. And he pleads guilty to manslaughter for, you know, a murder that happened 2 years ago. So some justice happened, right? And just still, it just seems crazy that, you know, people are getting killed and people are finding their bodies like, you know, I guess that's how it would be, but we need to intermingle. That's the best defense against, you know, any crime is for us to know each other, for neighborhoods to organize. A former Pueblo cop accused of sexual assault pleads not guilty. So Benjamin Candelaria, 48 years old. The trial set March 26th. Pueblo. A Ryan Severance article from the Chieftain. So Ryan Severance, he is pointing out that Judge Larry Schwartz said at Candelaria's arraignment, any potential plea deal, something about you about to, you know, come to an agreement in the next 3 weeks or else shit's going to happen. The judge found there is probable cause to try Candelaria. So it said that he touched a domestic violence victim while getting her to fill out paperwork about her case. So you know, it's bullshit what he did. And I'm actually relieved that he was fired or that he had charges filed against him. He kept turning off his body camera. So that's another thing with the county police and with the police chief. Do you believe in body cameras? Will you keep the, you know, body camera thing in there? So we didn't ask any of these questions with the, you know, these appointed positions. But it says here with Candelaria, he was fired, right? So that means there's some good people in the like Raymond Purvis. Detective Raymond Purvis is the good man. He's the good cop. And he's saying that when he looked at this body camera footage, there's parts where they cut in and out. But even when they, you know, he turned the thing off, there was still some other shit that was going on. He would point the body camera elsewhere while doing shit. And they said there was a brawl on the table that wasn't there before. They would make sexually explicit comments, which was on the video. And then it said that there's some places where it even says that they can see him touching the woman sexually. You know, they have body camera footage that shows him and this woman touching sexually. She said, and it says it's not clear with the penetration, but she said that she was drunk, and so she had limited memory due to the alcohol use prior to the assault. So his record or his his mugshot looks like he's fucked up. He looks like he's drunk too. So I wonder if either one of these remember it, but why would he be drunk and on duty? Command staff of the Pueblo Police Department, and then a criminal investigation was conducted in conjunction with the 10th Judicial District Attorney's Office. So the 10th Judicial District Attorney's Office, the 10th Judicial District is the most powerful branch in Pueblo County and Pueblo City combined. The 10th Judicial District is something that actually combines both the city and the county. So it says he is placed on administrative leave, and then he resigned from his position. So that means they forced him out. December 27th, they forced him to quit. Now, I did the October 4th arrest summary, and now here's the October 5th arrest summary. It says Billy Joe Arguello, 35-year-old, 3800 of Faribault Lane, arrested. Suspicion of possession of a controlled substance. She is being held in jail in lieu of a $4,280 bail. $4,280? Where'd this number come from? Wasted resources. More wasted resources. Billy Joe Arguello, 35 years old. I don't give a shit what the fuck she had. She had a bunch of fucking heroin and shit. She's sad and depressed. Give her a hug. Give her a hug. Don't beat her up and throw her in goddamn jail and put a $4,200. Is she going to get kicked out? You know, is she going to be able to pay her rent? What the fuck is she going to do with her life? Are you going to help rebuild her life when she gets out? No, she has to figure all this fucking shit herself. On top of the capitalistic dog-eat-dog capitalistic fucking system that we live in. So this fucks Billy Joe Arguello's life. I don't know if she's going to be able to recover after this. She had unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Who gives a shit? Who cares? She's an American. She has a right to her own fucking body. This is stupid. This has gone on for way too long. Nixon was wrong. He pushed the war on drugs to go after the black folks and to go after the anti-war activists, to go after the hippies. Because, you know, when you're the Confederates and Nazis, you can't hate, you know, the Jews and the blacks anymore. Well, you got to hate the hippies. You got to hate somebody, right? Daniel Mestace, 42-year-old Jake Daniel Mestace of an unspecified block of South Sweetwater Drive in Pueblo West was arraigned Wednesday on a warrant for sexual assault. He deserves to be in jail, so that's $50,000 bail. There's a second-degree assault on a peace officer. Was that peace officer being, peaceful? I bet they weren't. They don't mention any of the officers' names in any of these arrest reports. So essentially, this person was kidnapped. They were accused of these crimes, and the only way you can get them out of jail is if you got $8,500. Angelica Consuela Morales, 28 years old, 2200 Block East 12th Street. If you got $8,500, you can get Angelica out as long as you make sure she goes to court. She's arrested for suspicion of second-degree assault on a police officer. It's his word versus hers. All the police officers we should know who the police officers are, because they got to testify in court to their good name, their good character. And Donald Rich, 29 years old, Brian Donald Rich of Kansas, was arrested. Suspicion of unlawful possession of a controlled substance. He's being held at jail in lieu of $3,760 bail. So $3,760. What the fuck is up with these weird-ass numbers? Why is 29-year-old Brian on a $3,760 bail and then Angelica on an $8,500 bail? And then Billy Joe is on a $4,280 bail. Well, where'd they come up with this shit? It's several fucking $1,000s. They don't have it, so now they're going to be sitting in the fucking jail. These cocksuckers keep on bitching about there being no fucking room in the jail, but we're arresting homeless people for petty little fucking possession, drug crimes. We're arresting homeless people for breaking into homes because they're fucking cold and shit. Nobody's doing any spending any resources into helping the homeless people. It's just like the fucking trash situation. People might say, well, burning trash is pollution, but nobody gives a shit that we're putting all this trash in the ground. 1200 Block East Ormond Avenue, 23-year-old Giovanni Ian Vigil, arrested Wednesday. Suspicion of possession of controlled substance, intent to distribute, possession, Scheduled 1 substance, 2 counts of possession, Schedule 2. Who gives a shit? $80,000 fucking bail? You're ruining people's fucking lives and you're making us pay for it. And then you want another jail? You want more cops? You want to raise our taxes for more cops? You want to raise our taxes for more goddamn jails? But you don't have a treatment center. You don't have a rehab. You don't have a place for the homeless. You have no social safety net whatsoever. You go through Pueblo County schools. You go through Pueblo City schools, right? The county schools are fucking, palaces and they're perfect and shit. But go through Pueblo City schools, get straight fucking A's. But if you're homeless, fuck you. You're probably going to get your ass kicked. And if you're depressed and you start doing heroin while you're living out on the streets, now you're going to, at least you'll be in jail, right? At least you'll be warm. But then they're going to, probably, beat Giovanni Ian Vigil, 23-year-old. The only crime with the biggest danger with marijuana was the element of violence attached to it because it was illegal in society. So are these really criminal, dangerous fucking people, or are we wasting? I think we're wasting resources. So, this is insane. This is ridiculous. 23-year-old Giovanni he should be bailed out. Kathleen Diane Wheeler, 43 years old, she's in there for a $6,000 bail. You know what she's arrested for? Suspicion of unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Okay, so we're throwing 43-year-old Kathleen Diane Wheeler in the fucking 2400 block of Columbine Avenue. Whoever she is, her life is fucked, right? Giovanni's life is fucked. Kathleen's life is fucked. But at least the Pueblo Chieftain got, they got a little headline, right? They got to get some, oh yeah, we get it right, and this is important. Look at, we got information, and the police, now the criminal justice system, the judges, the prosecutors, they all got something to do. So much fucking money over this fucking corrupt cop in Canyon City. Big fucking shocker there. Police commander on leave, charged with misconduct. So they go through this rigmarole, right? They investigate themselves, found that they didn't do any fucking crime whatsoever. I know for a fact that there's criminal, bullshit happening in the fucking jail. There's somebody that sued him and the judge might throw the fucking shit out. It takes a lot of bravery because you're fighting the system. Those fucking boys at jails, those Canyon City fucking jail motherfuckers, they're rapists, they are sexual harassers, they're pieces of shit. They're fucking garbage, okay? And the fact that one of them is allowed to do it and everybody else knows about it and nobody says shit about it, that just shows you that all fucking Fremont County is a bunch of oppressive, rapist pieces of shit. They don't give a shit, right? If you go to jail for some petty little fucking joint, right? That's how it used to be. You have a fucking marijuana joint. Now you're going to get raped in fucking jail. National Center for Education Statistics, average school district in the United States spends $11,223 per student. According to Pueblo City Schools website, we spend $7,551 per pupil. So we spend substantially less. right? We don't spend enough money on our students, but just throwing money at the problem isn't the only thing. There's no democracy in those schools, and there's never been any democracy from the school, because these are industrial Prussians. Industrial Prussians, shut the fuck up, love your fucking country, stand up for the fucking flag, don't question authority, do as you're told, and then, you know, they get fucking robbed because you taught them to be fucking obedient to the civil fucking authorities. Meanwhile, you know, it's dog-eat-dog capitalism, so you should teach the kids to be strong. And we should live in it. If we don't, we live in a democracy, but if we're not training our young people to live in a democracy, I mean, the adults don't live in a good democracy, so we need to set the example, but that's the school system. It needs to have democracy. We don't have democracy in our. The reason why I mention that is because to get a Sudbury model education, the most ideal, perfect democracy, freedom, you know, if you believe in that you love your kid and you want your kid to be strong and mentally, so if you want the best goddamn, you know, education in the fucking world, send them to Sudbury, to the Massachusetts Sudbury Valley schools. It's $7,000 per year. So to get a kick-ass education, all you need is $7,000. So we should be able to take that $7,000 per student and then turn that around into something good. You know, fuck wasting this goddamn money for a bunch of oppressive, authoritarian assholes, a bunch of careerists, a bunch of teachers who only give a shit about their own fucking career. They're not going to set up, you know, if you don't live in the city, you shouldn't be an administrator, you shouldn't be a teacher here, you shouldn't be a police officer, you shouldn't be a mayor, you shouldn't be a city council member. If you're in the city, then you could be a teacher. But if you don't live here, you have no intention of staying here, and you're not like exceptionally, like you're like an engineer or some kind of scientist, or that we're getting less money, but we have an opportunity since the schools are absolutely failing. We can change things. We can change things. For $7,000, we can get a Sudbury model education. When I have kids, and I would like to have lots of kids, when I have children, I want them to have a Sudbury model schools in the public school system. I want the public school system to reform themselves and to get democracy inside the damn schools. It's all based on democracy anyways, right? School board is voted on, and then they fucking vote on a goddamn superintendent, and then they all hire, right? So that's the damn structure. It's all, you know, democracy anyways. But a good superintendent produces thousands of good superintendents. They try to get everybody to be leaders, everybody to stand up, and that's if they want to be. But my point is, instead of making thousands of superintendents, they're making thousands of obedient little fucking ignoramuses. And when you're fucking ignorant as fuck, then you're just going to be a savage piece of shit, just a bully. That's the only way you're going to get around is if you... Donald Trump takes Xanaxes to stop his panic attacks. To stop Hispanic attacks, his panic attacks. So the officer, offender Holmes, oh man, James Holmes I thought was in Fremont County, but it turns out he was actually in Pueblo. He was in the San Carlos Correctional Facility in Pueblo in late 2015 or early 2016 after he reportedly was attacked by another prisoner, and then he had been in the Colorado State Penitentiary before he moved to Pueblo. Apparently was often in solitary confinement. Okay, so he was in Fremont County. They put him in Pueblo. Now we don't know where the hell he is. So they just keep on, you know, it's like the Catholic priest, right? They just keep moving him around because they don't want the public or anybody to know who or where he's at. He's registered with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, so that's what the report was, that he's now in federal prison, 023502122. This motherfucker, we should have just killed him. I mean, this is another one with 150 plants and a hash oil factory. So I think this one, the denverchannel.com, war on drugs still going strong, but these didn't have any illegal immigrants. These didn't have any illegal residents in it. These are Puebloan people. These are legal residents who have 150 plants, and now they're going to fucking jail. So for producing hash oil, they're being entrepreneurs. They're producing. We need more production. Our economy is waning. I mean, fuck, we need to spur this. We're going to be the Napa Valley for the marijuana industry. Marijuana is what's going to pull us out. So get your fucking head out of your asses. It's here to stay, so why not make a shit ton of money? Yeah, regulate it, keep it away from the kids, but let's export it all over the entire fucking world. Let's make Pueblo weed the best goddamn weed there is on the fucking planet. Let's make Pueblo synonymous with marijuana. So that way when people say, where's this marijuana from? Oh, it's from Texas. Oh, it's from Oregon. That's crap. Oh, it's from Pueblo City. It's from Pueblo. Give me things out that there's plenty of violence against children, even though it's illegal to hit children in Pueblo, in Colorado. But El Pueblo, the El Pueblo Boys and Girls Ranch. There's 12 cottages on 56 acres in Pueblo, and they're ordered to immediately desist caring for kids by the Colorado Department of Human Services. So 130 staff is going to lose their fucking jobs because they like to beat the fucking shit out of kids. There are 37 kids living in this place and then 130 staff members. So that's absolutely insane. 130 staff members, all of them yelling at the goddamn kids. You know the best way to have done that? Fire all the staff members, and then all the wages that you're paying the staff, pay those wages to the children. So that way they'll actually get some money in their pocket. They'll have some power. They'll have some responsibility. They'll take pride in the place. So firing the having that many, 130, that's the American way, isn't it? Right? Fire the rower and then put another manager on the boat. Come on. We need ranch which treated children with severe behavioral or psychiatric needs could lose its child care license permanently. All 37 children living at the ranch have been moved by Tuesday night. Some returning home to parents and others going to foster homes, group homes, other residential treatment centers. Child who ran away from El Pueblo last month boarded a train alone, told authorities children bullied each other. They stole each other's food because they were hungry. And 130 staff members all watched as this shit happened. Oh, they're going to lose their fucking jobs. Fuck you, El Pueblo fucking Boys and Girls Club. You should lose your fucking jobs. And you should be shut down immediately. And you all should be looked into, every single one of you all. And I bet they had nice, clean fucking records just like Stephen Paddock, right? So the administrators, school teachers, judges, prosecutors, these fuckers, everybody that's got clean records. We need to investigate everybody that's got clean records. How many of these fucking people that have been above the law think that they could just start shooting at us any fucking time that they please? That's it, right? They loved watching the children fight each other, so this is absolutely, Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games. This is Battle Royale. This is just making the kids fight for, the staff's delight. This is not even Lord of the Flies. This is goddamn Hitler, Nazi Germany. 130 oppressors and 40, so that means there was way more oppressors. That's not a sustainable fucking system for anything. Pay, 75% of a bunch of assholes to oppress 37, poor kids who don't get any money. Now, if you would have given those kids a paycheck and give them some responsibility, they could have pulled themselves out. They could have turned that Boys and Girls Ranch around. They could have took those 12 cottages on 56 acres and they could have made something. They would have probably done a marijuana grow, but you know what? They would have been entrepreneurs. They've been producing something, and they've been doing something productive for society. So they can get paid for that. That would have been a good use of their time. Instead, 130 staff members want to beat the shit out of them. Beat the shit out of them. They just like the kids bullying each other. They laughed about it. The kids are stealing each other's food because there was child abuse, right? They're withholding food away from them. This is just like, Timberlake up in Vermont. So the child said they lacked medical attention and the staff did not intervene when children fought with each other. Authorities received complaints that a high-needs child did not receive prescribed medications while at the ranch, left with burns. So they're not getting the meds that they need. They're living with burns. Why? Because they were, Indian burns or shit. What the fuck did they do that shit for? So they're, they're not, they don't give a shit when they're fighting. This is an oppressive mentality, right? The kids are fighting and they don't say stop. There's 130 of y'all, but y'all want to see a goddamn fight because you guys are sick, oppressive motherfuckers. Oppressor has to kill the humanity of those that they oppress. So that's all they know. That's what most of America knows. Shit. They've only been capitalist oppressors their entire lives. They don't know about Paul. There was some abuse. The staff members accused of pulling a child's hair, scratching the child, hitting the child with an elbow and a knee. Yeah, fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck all 130 of them, right? Just like the Fremont County rapist. So you got a bunch of rapists in Fremont County. That's your authorities. That's your officials. And they're raping whoever the fuck they feel like it in them goddamn jails. And guess what? The Fremont County ain't going to do nothing. The police, the officials, none of them. And then the citizens ain't going to do nothing. That's who you are, Fremont County. Fremont County, you're a bunch of fucking rapists. And this was shut down, thank goodness, by the state. But Pueblo City, why the fuck do you got an El Pueblo Boys and Girls Club here? So this is Pueblo City. This is Pueblo City. This is specifically the fucking ranch. And specifically the 130 people. So Fremont County, specifically your jailers. Your jailers. You got a bunch of rapists, they've killed people. People have gone in there and they haven't came out. They're murderers. You think that if they can kill people that, raping might not be a big fucking deal? Low-functioning child escaped out of a bedroom window, is missing for more than an hour, crossed 2 different streets. A child suffered severe weight loss after 10 months at the center. Administrator refused to intervene for 25 minutes as a child pulled off their own skin and was chewing it and eating it. Oh my God, you're terrorizing these kids and you're making them fucking eat themselves. Fuck El Pueblo Boys and Girls Club. Fuck them, man. I almost feel like we need to, who the fuck is running this shit? I'm fucking pissed about it now. You're forcing kids, you're oppressing them so goddamn much. Do as I say, do this, do that. Now they're eating their own fucking skin. You can't give them a hug, you can't say, what are you interested in? Oh, you want to play a guitar? Here, let me get you a guitar and teach you how to fucking play. Yeah, you'd have to recognize that they're humans, that they're fucking people first. To do it that way, no, I can't do it like that, right, oppressors? Fuck that old public boys and girls ranch. I'm glad that request was denied. Staff repeatedly asked for permission to intervene. What does this mean? Please, can we intervene? The quest is denied, so they're like, don't intervene. Let him eat his own arm. No, let him eat his own arm. Privately run non-profit ranch licensed in 95 is authorized to care for up to 166 children ages 5 to 21. All these staff members, we need to know who they are, who their names are, and whether or not they were the ones doing it. We need to find out exactly who the fuck was abusing these people. We can't make sure all them staff members don't get in our school systems, don't get into our, onto our playgrounds, parks, make sure they're not in the daycares. So we need to, flag them. We need to know who the fuck these staff members are, and I want to know who the fuck these actual individuals are. They punched a kid in the mouth, a child was punched in the mouth, who's elbowing, kneeing kids. So they're attacking them, they're hitting them, they're leaving burns on them, and then even when, they terrorized the fuck out of them, they're learn a little history. In 1976, District Attorney Joe LoSavio. Joe LoSavio was elected in 1972, and he was reelected without opposition in 1976. So for 2 terms, Joe LoSavio was elected District Attorney, the DA. We got a county attorney, we got a city attorney, municipal attorney, and then we got the district attorney. This is the head prosecutor in the 10th Judicial District. So it's not a judge, but it's the one that leads, right? The judge and the prosecutors are like best little fucking buddies, best friends. Now, when he got elected, the second time he brought indictments against a bunch of public officials. So a bunch of indictments, right? And for what? Misconduct and shit. So I like Joe LoSavio. He's going to go ahead and indict a bunch of public officials. Good. Good. He was elected. The people wanted him to do this. And they said they even indicted County Commissioner Al Hayden and University of Southern Colorado President Harry Bowes, as well as the developer of Pueblo West. Joe LoSavio, because of Joe LoSavio, a person who is willing, it's like a police officer who's willing to arrest another police officer for wrongdoing. If you arrest a police officer who was attacking, hitting their, their wife, or who was, molesting a domestic violence victim, if you arrest that person, that means you are such a good person that you're willing to break the so-called thin blue line. And that's a good thing. Because if you're not willing to cross the thin blue line, then that means you're a corrupt piece of shit. It's who you know, and it's all about politics. It has nothing to do with right and wrong. So I want justice, okay? That's what police are there to protect and serve. So make sure that victims get justice and protect the community. That's what they're supposed to be, doing. So when the district attorney goes ahead and puts indictments on the developer of Pueblo West, or the Southern Colorado President Harry Bowes, or County Commissioner Al Hayden, I trust Joe LoSavio. Joe LoSavio is a historical figure in Pueblo City's past who I trust. I would not trust Fred Weisbrod. Fred Weisbrod was a city manager for many years, I think in the 70s or 80s. So in 1984, $6 of $10 million was wasted on Sperry Corporation. So the city manager, Fred Weisbrod, he was quietly building up the city's reserves. It climbed from $1.3 million in 1974 to more than $10 million in 1982. This is identical to Pueblo City now. People want to say Sam Azad is such a bad city manager, yet Sam Azad is the one who brought, prosperity to Pueblo City. Pueblo City has a $10 million, $8 million surplus right now. So Sam Azad brought that surplus so that way, the future citizens can spend it however, maybe how about on the damn police, right? How about on the street repairs? If we got a surplus, why not, It's great that Fred Weisbrod had saved all this money up, right? $1 million to $10 million. It's kind of like they do all these, it's a $180 million budget, so it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to save $10 million, but maybe it is. And he was able to save $10 million up, so good, Fred Weisbrod, we should, give him credit where credit is due. Unfortunately, he wanted the Sperry Corporation to come in. Sperry Corporation, which closed down 2 years after this deal. So 84, he goes ahead and gives them $6 million free in cash. Hey, come to Pueblo City. We're going to bring in all these jobs. Okay, here's $6 million, Sperry Corporation. So that's, suspect right there. $6 million in cash. go straight to the corporation, they were going down anyway. So that would give them nice golden parachutes. And on top of the $6 million in cash, we also give them $2 million in land and other assets. So we give them the capital, the tools, the factory, the land. We give them $6 million in cash. We started their fucking business up, and then they sold themselves 2 years later. Donald Trump takes Xanaxes to stop his panic attacks, to stop Hispanic attacks, his panic attacks.